hadde bodd overnaturlige vesen side om side med det skandinaviske folk. De kan ikke merke seg menneskelige sanser om ikke de velger det selv. Usynlige har de hjulpet på gårder, hjulpet søyer på villspor å finne veien hjem, gitt assistanse ved kalving, ved harde vintre eller ved skogbranner. I retur har de fått noe av gårdens korn og melk. Vesen har fylt engene med blomster, vist mennesker veien til bortgjemte vann som kan vise dem glimt av fremtiden, og hvisket drømmer inn i ørene til dem som sover.
Hello and welcome to Vaesen, Song of the Falling Star. We haven't really touched on horror, but technically a Nordic horror RPG. Nothing particularly gruesome has happened yet, just a few deaths. Hopefully, if our darling players get their butts in gear, season finale today. Maybe we'll be back next week. We'll find out. We'll quickly go around and let people introduce themselves, briefly mention who you're playing today, and then we'll do a recap because we were off last week and I honestly forgot what happened. And then I'll get back into the game. I will start at my top left, holding a support T-Rex, Baker.
I play Astrid, a perfectly fine and happy and in no way frightened or hopeless human being who loves everyone.
Beautiful. Very busy typing. Let's just go to Wilde and let Eva be and figure out Toby.
Yes. Hello, I'm Wilde, at Wilde Engineer on Twitch and Twitter. And I am playing Fredrik, the servant to the young Miss Linnea and the dad of the group.
Yes, somehow one of your characters is the sensible person in the group. I love how much it makes you suffer.
I have to change that today.
Hi, I'm Mikyl. I'll be playing Komrik, the officer of the group, who seems to be the detective of the group. I don't know. Linnea.
I mean, the detective wasn't detectiving, so who knows? Like, what even are predetermined characters or roles or classes in this game anyway?
Exactly.
Besides, you know, in the near future, Komrik might end up being like a happily married mayor husband, in which case you're going to have to consider a new vocation anyway.
Yeah, like breathing. How does that work?
You can definitely fill 8 hours of a day doing that, I think. Eva, can you talk or are you still typing?
It's me. I'm Eva. I'm still typing, but also, hello, I'm Eva. I am playing the private investigator of this group, but she's baby. She's learning. She's getting a little more experience. And yes, I think that's about it. This is my channel. If you haven't seen me before, it's me, the 3 otters in a trench coat.
Thank you kindly. Also, Linnea might be one of the other ones who ends up married in the near future, depending on whether or not she can convince her parents that, you know, whether things are okay or not. Married, committed, I'm very excited for season 1.5 as well. Hello, my name is Anniek. I am the game master of this group. I will be herding cats and playing everybody else. Very excited. We have a wonderful recap coming our way, done by Wilde. Take it away, Wilde.
Yes. I mean, I do it in a point of Fredrik, but then that would just be, I ran into a building with fire. And
as I say, Fredrik might not have been present for all the excitement. I love it when the group splits.
Yes. So, yes, last week, Fredrik ran into a building to save a elderly troll person. Yes,
who tried not to leave without his grandfather clock.
indeed. So, let's get started then. Look, and let's see, for that point, I believe Komrik had split up being the fastest amongst the group, along with Astrid, to find the priest, and had, upon seeing him setting more fires and everybody's proselytizing in the middle of town amongst all these fires and panicking trolls, immediately shot him, leading to a very swift death. Astrid later came up and confirmed the death of the priest. No? Was it Linnea? Okay, it was Linnea.
Pretty sure it was Linnea.
Yes. Well, that's right. Astrid wanted to do stuff. That's later. And upon this and searching for Lulu, they were given a letter that was left from her, as she had now passed due to the priest. The letter explaining that Lulu had indeed swapped out the child of the Lord and for this changeling, because he had taken the instrument and not given it back as was promised, and he had not fulfilled his part of the bargain for having the instrument. And upon explaining this, she had explained everything to the group and the reasoning behind it and how much she cared for the group and saw them, how much she liked them. And it was a very lovely and tearful goodbye. And I believe now we just have to find the missing child.
Do you, as players, want to hear Lalo's letter one more time? Because that does kind of mention how to fix stuff.
Do that.
So, scroll down. Let me just try to not make this obnoxiously loud as I play it.
My friends, I don't think we can speak, so I thought I owed it to you to give you some information. I wanted to tell you earlier, but I did not know who to trust, and then you did not trust each other to tell things. But anyway, I was the one who gave Hugo the kantele. The thing is, I really wanted him to record the songs and the stories of our people. I saw in him like an artist. He was beyond an ambitious scholar-type academic thingy. And it went very well. Hugo's performances at my inn, there were coming lots of visitors. But then he had finished his writing thingy, dissertation, and then he forgot, I think, that he made a promise to return the kantele. And you know what I say, if you fuck with me, I cannot have that. We have a promise, we are friends, we have to trust each other. And he just did like we never spoke about it. He was like, no, this is my kantele. But it wasn't, it's very important to us. And if he wants to like steal the songs of my people and the kantele, well, then we take his baby, his flesh and blood, because he takes something very important to us. We take something very important to him. I think is fair.
So at that point, Baker, or rather Astrid, actually received a vision of what that night was like. watching Lalo sneak into the von Kaiserling residence to actually swap the child, and having to flee because the night nurse or the wet nurse was coming. And then there was a part 2 to the letter.
And I do not even want to keep the kid, I just want the kantele. But I cannot give it back unless he returns it. And of course that must happen at the exact place where the agreement was made. At Kali Lake, at midnight on the summer solstice. I mean, it's only fair.
With a short postscript.
Oh, and say hi to Freddy for me. Hey, Freddy.
So the entire party yet aware of what happened. You're not all together again. Notably, Fredrik is still ferrying elderly people out of burning buildings. Astrid and Linnea were helping, because this village wasn't entirely trolls. There was some humans living here as well. You're basically helping the non-trolls deal with, most of the village being burned down. So getting bedding, getting water, just trying to get emergency lodgings put together for people so they can actually have somewhere to sleep tonight. Komrik was the one who, after sorry, I was briefly distracted by a family picture where I thought captions were gonna go. Komrik was the one who, after shooting Father Cornelius in the chest, rather deservedly so, went into the Tulyak Inn to only discover Lalo's body. And after that, you had a few more looks around, got some more of the goats and the cats out. Pigs were clever enough to escape by themselves. But on the way back towards the rest of the village, you also stopped to offer some more assistance. So at this point in time, Fredrik and Komrik are separate from the group, helping people, and Linnea and Astrid are basically minding children, elderly, and squishy humans. Most of the fires have started to get under control. The trolls are using a bit of trollcraft to moisten the air more and get the buildings good and damp, so buildings that aren't burning yet won't go up in flames. Who knew? Magic, super useful in an emergency. And there's just a lot of anger. A troll comes back into the town square carrying the body of Father Cornelius under one arm. It's not bleeding anymore, but it got pretty carved up by Komrik, who wanted to make super sure he was dead rather than get a Father Cornelius zombie. So it wasn't quite. You want to go to break for a little bit? I was about to describe someone being cut open from throat to navel, but we'll save that for when we're back. We'll be right back.
Hi, sorry, I didn't
Oh.
count us down. I just said we're going back.
I know.
Thanks.
Wait, are we back?
It's fine.
I was like, small, pretty, and prayer captions are clear.
I don't know if captions were clear. I don't have my glasses on. Anyway,
the only thing
hi,
I see
friends.
is move that way, you're crooked. Hello, we're back. Some of us ran to get booze while this happened, which is why everyone's a little frazzled. But we got there in the end, and we're good to go. I was describing how an adult troll was carrying Father Cornelius's corpse, still wearing a bloodied cassock with a giant bullet wound in his chest, having but cut open through the sternum to make sure that there was no priest zombification happening at any point in time. This being done by someone who only recently learned the supernatural is real and has no idea what makes a zombie or how to prevent the dead from getting back up, but it was a valiant effort and we appreciate it. Komrik, what are you up to right now?
Komrik is just like trying to get water to put out some of this fire, and so he's been just working alongside everyone trying to douse these flames.
Fire is very nearly under control. There's just stuff smoldering. People are like putting out the last fires. The Trollcraft is doing real well with making sure nothing goes back up in flames. So the focus has shifted to shelter, recovering bedding and blankets that can still be used for the night, getting together food that isn't like accidentally popcorn and things like that. Just for my perspectives, Komrik knows Lalo is dead but doesn't know about the letter. Fredrik doesn't know Lalo is dead and doesn't know about the letter. And Linnea and Astrid both know Lalo is dead and know about the letter. Check.
Right, you read that letter out loud, right, Astrid? Because I know you got a letter.
No, I think Astrid would have folded up. She would have read it out loud.
You read it out loud, and you also shared the vision.
Yes.
That came halfway through the letter.
And but like to specify, I grabbed Linnea and I like moved a little far. Like I read the first sentence and then I moved me and Linnea a little bit away from everybody else.
All right, fair enough.
I'm thinking.
You're learning. Fredrik, elderly gentleman saved, grandfather clock sadly lost to the flames.
Oh no.
What's next? Again, fire very nearly put out in general.
Check up on Linnea.
You find Linnea and Astrid near the emergency shelters they're setting up. Like some of the houses were untouched. So what they're basically doing is like moving sofas and bookcases and putting down beds in places that they can still use for rest at night. So you find them surrounded by bedding and people.
Is I got on they asked. So I don't know it was the priest, right? So would you all figure out what happened? Who started these fires?
Well, the priest. And he killed Lilo. Also, Lilo says hi. Freddy.
In a letter, not like...
I feel like that last sentence is slightly inappropriate considering what you told me in the first sentence.
I mean, sort of her last wish.
Yeah, it was. It was P.S. Tell Freddie I said hi. Hi, Freddie. That's how I imagine she said it. I can't do it quite as good as her. No one can.
That's true.
Mm-hmm. She said it the best. We may have to retire Freddie as your nickname.
We need to get back to Ardensburg.
I think we need to all get together and talk for a few minutes beforehand so we can update, but not here.
Maybe the tavern? Maybe not in the tavern, but
Near it?
that's where I last saw Komrik.
What do you think, Frederick?
Yeah. I should probably get Komrik, and if we need back, start the long journey home, I guess. I'd rather not take any additional resources from the town.
Well, I think we might need to. Let's go talk. I'll go find Komrik. If you two want to just head that way.
Okay.
I imagine that now that there's been like a lot of the flames doused and taken care of, that Komrik's paying respects to Laylo's body. Holding
Astrid?
hands with like a small troll child. I don't know.
There,
I just
No, there's troll children scampering everywhere. They're very excited by all the goings on.
Astrid's going to specifically give Linnea and Frederick a moment if they want to talk. Well, she goes looks for Komrik.
Okay.
There's not going to be a village if we don't.
it's a lot of smoke.
Yeah. What time of day is it?
More night than day at this point. Like, it was already evening by the time your cart went off the road.
But it's like the 20th, right? Not... It's like... The solstice is in like 4 hours or like 28 hours?
24. That's what you said in the last episode.
More like, at this point, more like 20.
Okay. I just meant more like, is it this midnight or is it the one after? So, okay, so...
The one after.
Okay.
It's also, like, the solstice isn't necessarily at midnight. That's just what humans think is convenient, but...
That was what Laylo wrote, midnight, on the solstice.
It's
Yeah,
midnight
because she's being helpful to the humans. Like,
Okay.
you
Yeah.
you have to be there at midnight.
Yeah.
On the night of the solstice. And then when the actual solstice is a little, there's a little leeway in, like, if you need to perform a ritual at the exact dead center of solstice, then you need to be more exact. In this case, it's just on the night of the solstice,
Yeah, okay.
which is you still have a day worth of daylight left.
Yes.
I have by midnight on the solstice, 20 hours. Hugo, I have a question mark by Hugo needs to be there.
Hugo needs to bring the...
Do we just have to get the Cantalia and I can give it to we can give the baby back and we can
So
drop it off?
Astrid, considering your background, No. The person who made the deal has to be present.
Okay, so I'm gonna erase my question mark then.
Like, you have to have Hugo, and technically speaking, you have to have the baby they swapped for.
The troll baby.
Yeah.
Who is out in the wild somewhere.
Yes.
Oh, fuck.
So you need Hugo, you need the kantelen. You do you need to at least be able to promise without lying that the troll baby is unharmed and safe. Preferably in your possession, insofar as you can possess a troll baby. At which point... Cats, man. At which point you can exchange 2 of those for the real Edward.
Okay, that's fine.
And otherwise, the bad version of Astrid's vision comes to pass. Of which the village burning down was a small part. But for Astrid, it's easy enough to find Komrik at the remains of the Tulyak Inn.
Komrik,
Yeah.
we need to discuss how we're going to fix all this. And
right.
Astrid's gonna lean down to the child and go, "Thank you for comforting my friend, but unfortunately he has work to do."
But he shot someone and then he stabbed them, so if I stay around here, he might do something cool again.
Right now, all he's gonna do...
And I'm kind of hungry, and if he kills someone, I get to eat them. Mommy says I can have the entrails.
Actually, I saw them bringing the really bad priest guy, and would you do me a favor?
Maybe.
Go see if they'll throw that priest guy on the fire, because I don't want him rising like his evil god.
You know, Astrid, I don't think they should eat him. That's probably bad.
I think they're already eating him.
Well, that works for me.
Never mind. All right.
But it's like there's only one, and I'm really little, so there's usually not that much left, and then you just get like marrow.
He reaches in his pocket and
That's
grabs
good soup stock.
the rest of his candies that he has and just puts it in the child's hand. And we should tide you over for a while, just in case.
He just opens a mouth that is far too large for its little face, and they just all go in, packaging included.
I was gonna say, you're welcome. I was gonna say, don't eat them all at one time, but yep, all right.
These are tasty.
Astrid stands up and goes, "Don't worry, they have strong stomachs and they're cute as fuck, aren't they? Let's go."
Yeah, big teeth. All right.
You feel this little tapping feeling on your thigh, and it's like a little child's tail checking your pockets for more sweets. Just sort of gently patting you down with its tail.
I'll see you again, I promise. I'll bring some more. How about that?
Okay.
No.
All right. What?
Astrid looks up with big eyes and is like,
"It's a deal, mister."
Oh.
And he scampers off.
We'll talk to.
We'll
Linnea.
be here some bit. All right.
We will talk to Linnea and make sure that we have sweets when we come back. They probably have to be the same sweets.
I'll just stop by the same store. It's fine.
Komrik, when dealing with anything that you're not aware of, if it's human, if it has magical powers, never use the word promise.
Oh. Well, I guess I didn't really think about that. Yeah.
You can say, I'll try and bring more. You can say, I'll see if I can access more, but never use the word promise.
Duly noted. He takes out his journal and writes it down.
Just imagine this list of rules like Zombieland. Rule 1.
Yeah.
Never say promise.
Stab it with a steel sword. It will stop moving.
If Astrid...
he actually has that in there. Like, it won't become a zombie if you stab it with a steel sword.
Astrid leans over and goes, iron's better. Wood stakes for vampires. And
okay. Hold on.
Underline promise.
Oh yeah, promise. Do not promise. Got it.
There we
All
go.
Right. And we're doing this as we walk back.
Add don't make deals.
No deals. And underline exclamation mark.
Unless you have to. You reach the center of the village again. Unnamed small troll child number 4, who is now in a pact with Komrik, wasn't wrong. There is a number of adult trolls lovingly dismembering Father Cornelius. You recognize Indrek, actually, the smith, not the pony, who is merrily chomping down on a piece of liver. Komrik, the sounds are familiar to you in an unpleasant way.
Oh.
Good?
Can remember I told you I woke up on a shore, heard things, all the people that I was on the boat with, they sounded a lot like this, so I'd prefer to leave.
Astrid kind of loops arms with Komrik and leads him further away.
Okay. Linnea and Fredrik, anything you two want to discuss in relative private before Astrid and Komrik show back up?
You were in that building a while. Are you okay?
I'll be fine. It's just a little bit singed.
You'll be fine, so that means you're not fine now.
I mean, a bit tired, I guess.
Yeah.
I assume you're able to handle everything on your end fairly well?
I think so. It's just terrible to see all these people displaced. I hope we can help them.
No. Locally, communities tend to have a way of building. They seem to support each other fairly well.
Yeah, I just can't help but think this is... She's gonna look around and then just let that trail off. We should catch up with the others and make a plan.
Yes. We sure you're okay? You seem to be coughing quite a bit.
I just, yeah, I'll be fine. Most of the fires are going out. The smoke should clear in a minute. Or 2. Or 10.
Right. Yes, I guess we should meet up with everyone else so we can be on our way.
As luck would have it, as you're heading out towards the Tiliak Inn, I mean, both of you are also confronted, I suppose, with the sights and sounds of a village of trolls eating a person. I'm sure Fredrik is fine. Linnea might be a little queasy. But you can walk past easily enough, and you actually see Astrid and Komrik walking towards you. Remind me, you were paying respects to Lalo's body, and then Astrid basically took you back into town. Where did you leave Lalo's body? Asking for a friend.
Well, it was in the clearing where I pulled her out of the back of the building, and pulled her towards where she wouldn't be. So and that was like at the end of the little village, right?
Yeah.
The north end. So I mean, I'm sure it's like just an empty field right before the woods. So just kind of pulled her back towards there and left her with the 2 rocks on her eyes, not coins.
Not coins, no
Not
metal.
coins. No metal.
Very good. Okay. Like I said, just checking.
It still makes me very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It'll be
First Linnea's fine, and now Anniek is
Fredrik
just.
was fine first.
You said it so much more like someone who is not fine says they're fine.
Asking for a friend. So ominous. Yeah.
I'm highly uncomfortable.
I always ask questions about my friends. There's some information they need to know.
I just have friends with very, very particular interests and skill sets.
We should go back to Lilo's body.
The 4 of you meet up, not quite in the town square, but near it.
So, I think we should wander a direction where we can talk privately and work some stuff out real quick.
Perhaps towards the tree line, but maybe not quite in it. Maybe up a little past the tavern. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I always said we should talk somewhere privately, and I thought we were going to the tavern. I didn't realize Komrik was already at the tavern. Like, I thought we were meeting at the tavern.
To be fair, there's not much left of the tavern.
I know, that's why we were going there. We figured no one would be there. So...
But we were looking for one specific person.
But I also don't want to metagame, so...
I don't want to medicate.
I will point out that there are trolls heading in that direction to, like, look for survivors and or dead people.
Okay.
It's not abandoned just because Komrik got there first.
Okay, so we can wander off.
Yeah, just wander off in a direction. I just thought we originally were going to the tavern.
You're welcome to go to the tavern, but it's not deserted.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Just for purposes of meeting up, getting all together, once we're all together, we can, in a non-suspicious manner, wander off together away from
Sure. We'll talk about your definition of non-suspicious later, but you can wander off.
I mean, not furtively, just like...
I'm questioning life at this point. So
I'm questioning everything.
It's fine.
Like,
It's
Astrid
fine.
just has that, don't act suspicious, you
Oh.
haven't done anything wrong.
I feel
Yes,
like
yeah.
I feel like we're all making this a lot more complicated than it needs to be.
You've gamed with Anniek before. You know you have to be specific.
And Anniek's gamed with me before. She knows how I play.
Yep.
Nobody's
wrong here.
Yeah. So, once
We
we're
wander-
clear.
Yes. Once you're clear.
Astrid's gonna pull out the letter and like look at Linnea and be like, which one of us says this, with like her eyes.
I can do it.
Okay.
The pause is simply to know if you are replaying the audio.
You need to replay it one more time.
I don't
think
need
can
you
get
to. I just didn't want to speak over it.
No, I think you can. I think you can get the gist of this.
Yes. So yeah, I will distill it down. I'll read it word for word. I'm not going to leave anything out. I did not write it down word for word, so I'm not going to repeat it. But and P.S. Tell Freddie hi. That was the last word, right?
Hi, Freddie.
Hi, Freddie. So we need to go back to Arnsberg, get Hugo, the Cantalia?
Cantele.
I dotted my L, which made it really confusing in my notes.
Why would even in Swedish you don't dot L's?
Nope.
We're either very proud of you or just shaking our head.
My grandfather
We're now
is very
shaking our head.
upset with me. Cantalia. And ideally the troll baby, I don't know his name. Not Edward.
I have a suggestion for that, and it's maybe not the best idea, but
I can't wait.
We have limited time and limited resources.
Split up.
Not completely. I'm thinking you and Frederick are Frederick's most connected with the staff. You have connections in the sense that you know society better with Hugo. You also had a much better repertoire with I forget her name, the wife.
Agnes.
For some reason I keep wanting to call them Agnes.
It's
I know it's fine.
Yeah, it's a memorable name.
And
For me. For me.
So if you did need help convincing Hugo, she would be more likely to talk to you than the person who took her blood to scry her future. Komrik is good at tracking, I'm assuming, because he's a soldier. And honestly, I'm not great with people, so me tracking down a troll, I don't know if this is obvious already, but I'm a changeling and I was changed with a troll. So I have more experience and knowledge on them. So I say you and Frederick go tackle Hugo and them, and I will assist you in writing down exactly the future I saw for him if he does not give back the Cantalia. I will write down everything I saw.
Frederick, please don't literally tackle him unless necessary.
I was also thinking,
I just wished I could have been there to see it, you know.
if necessary.
I can show you how we would do it right now, Komrik.
Yep, maybe next time. All right.
I'm just thinking that it would be easiest to do it this way.
I think Astrid's got a point.
we don't have a lot of time. I think.
We definitely can't do it all together. So.
But real quick before we go, I think we should enlist the help of the trolls. If you and Fredrik want to head out prior, me and Komrik can try talking to them. But I figure we asked the blacksmith, and I forgot to write down his name,
Indrek.
And I'm sorry. Indrek. We asked Indrek to introduce us to some of the leaders. I assume Lila was one of them. We explain the situation. We explain what I am. We tell them what I saw. We tell them what the future could and could not hold. And we see if they will help us.
I think that's a good idea. I mean, they want their... I mean, they just want their deal upheld, right?
Yes, I imagine so.
I feel like we mucked everything up, so we should probably set things right.
Okay, to be fair, I think that was really Father Cornelius.
I mean,
we be absolutely honest, but I don't think it's a good idea to place too much blame on our shoulders. As far as we are clear,
we did not tip off the father at all in any way whatsoever.
He made his own choices.
He made his own choices. We take responsibility for what they demand of us, but we do not take any further responsibility because it could get us into trouble. I'm not saying we write off our guilt or we write off anything. I'm saying we don't make this situation but worse by being more indebted to a deal that we don't 100% understand.
Question. Do we know if the baby, the actual human child, is still alive?
Yes. They would never, they're not those.
There was sort of a big fire here.
They will protect that child. It's part of a bargain that's not fully set. They will protect the child. It ensures the safety of the troll baby.
No, that makes sense. I would feel very comfortable going back to Arnsburg with assurances. Not with the child, obviously.
We can attempt, but I think making that
I'll take their word. I mean, trolls did, besides Lalo, other trolls did die, right? Okay, I didn't hear that, but I'm going to take that as affirmative.
A few, yes.
Okay.
So let's make a contingency.
Also some humans, but Father Cornelius is very much, other than the fact that he's dead, he was not particularly concerned with collateral damage. Like, if you live with the demons, clearly you're not a good human anyway. Fuck them all, burn it all.
Yeah.
So let's make a contingency
So glad I killed
plan.
that dude.
I am too. But let's make a contingency. Maybe we can rewrite the future if we can't get the Cantalia back, if anything's happened to baby Edvard or the baby troll. Hopefully not the baby troll. If anything's happened to baby Edvard, let's see if we can get Edvard to take care of the baby troll and return the Cantalia in order to not have everything fall apart. If we can strike a different bargain or a new deal, if we need to. But we need both players either way.
Let's just focus on one thing at a time. Miss Linnea and I can get the Cantalia and Mr. von Kaiserling, and it may be even harder to find the baby troll, so we should probably start on that quite immediately.
Well, that's why I think we should see if we can enlist Indrek, because he might be able to help us, and some of the other trolls in this village might be able to help us.
Well, that might take some time. Perhaps, Miss Linnea, should we get going?
We should probably see if there's horses we can borrow.
Let's go find Indrek. He's
Do we know
the only one.
Do we know how long it would take to walk back to town?
Let me Google that for you. For the average human walking speed. I'll even try and get it in non-metric for you weirdos.
Hey, thanks.
I know, right? I'm super helpful. There we go. No, I don't want to continue with the ring of Bendigo. How long does it take to walk a mile? There we go. How many of you are injured right now? Physically, not mentally.
Linnea has her arm wound, which
I'm not injured.
is going
I mean,
to...
you don't walk on your arms.
No, it's not going to be like the best time, but it's not going to affect her walking.
Okay. This is terrible because now I have to do math from kilometers an hour to miles an hour.
What's a mile?
I
Like
can-
20 minutes?
I can help. It's normally so experienced walkers can do it in between 14 to 15 minutes, and then more like a leisurely pace is anywhere from 20 to 25.
Yeah,
Okay.
Linnea is not. She's in booted heels, probably.
It's roughly 30-ish miles.
Could they take the pony?
Not
One
two of
person
us.
one person can take a pony.
Well, if Frederick doesn't have any physical conditions, they could jog with the pony.
Not 30 miles.
Oh, true.
I was going like by the pony cantered here in a little over 2 hours.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, it's
it's
about
like
3 miles per hour.
Komrik wasn't like leisurely trotting on Indrek, he was cantering.
So you would only need to find one.
One pony.
Well, you could probably take one from the cart, couldn't you?
I think they left.
They turned around.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, your
I thought it had to get fixed.
it was fixed.
Oh, so they just took off?
He
Oh.
just went, fuck y'all, I'm out. I'm not getting paid enough to deal with like forest fires.
Well,
Astrid is gonna say, I will go find Indrek, and at least that's a start.
I mean, it's
And-
for a good cause. It's not like we're just...
I realize that.
all right. I feel like we're wasting time right now. We should probably start talking to other people.
Astrid's gonna go fight Indrek.
Please roll investigation.
Investigation is mental, right?
Yes.
Just double checking.
What? Logic.
I know, but sometimes my logic comes from like my heart.
No, that's not what we're calling logic. 4?
Out of 3.
This is 4. This is 2.
I was very excited because I only had 3 dice. Because I have 2 mental conditions.
Fair. You and your mental conditions ask around and discover that Indrek is no longer here. He has recovered Lalo's body and has left.
Then
You can roll a learning test if you're so inclined.
Sure, why not? Three plus 1, so I get 2.
Also mental, yeah.
I know, I'm just doing the math.
Very good.
Actually, not bad. I like these dice today. Also 2.
Another 2.
I like
So-
these dice today.
Putting together what you know from your past connections with trolls, the fact that Indrek knew enough to talk to you about this while you were at Smithy, and the fact that he's the one who's collected Lalo's body, means that Indrek was probably Lalo's second in the deal, meaning that when Lalo died, he became the one to hold up the troll's end of the bargain. So he's probably burying Lalo and checking on Edward.
Using that investigation roll, did anyone say they saw where he went? Like which direction?
If they did, they will not be telling you. You are an outsider, and he is currently guarding one of their human babies.
Okay. Can I ask them if they have any leaders?
Several.
Can you point me in the direction of one I could speak to?
You are directed to the elderly gentleman that was pulled out of a burning building by Fredrik, who is currently moderately upset about the loss of the grandfather clock.
Damn it. I approach him.
4 years I spent carving that clock face. I had to order tools from a different country. I had to put quartz in the center that I didn't want to be there, but the other one didn't look right, did it? Nope. Moonlight hit it and it was pink, and I wanted blue. Had to order encyclopedia, get the leaves around the edges right. What does it do? It burns.
How long did it take your village to burn because the church believed you were evil?
Oh, we'll deal with the church.
I'm a changeling, sir, and I was gifted with foresight.
Well, you're very rude and I don't like it.
And I'm very short on time, and I'm sorry your clock was destroyed.
You're
I
also
think-
short on manners. What's your name, Gid?
Astrid.
Pleased to meet you, Astrid.
I'm
Go
short
on, predict my doom.
I predict a happy future and a sad future. I've seen both. I've seen 2 options. And I would like the first one. I would like the good one. The one where everyone ends up happy, the church ends up out of this deal, and your village gets to rebuild.
I'll take rebuilding. I'm not sure everybody ends up happy. Some of them died, you know?
Fair point, but happy endings always come at the expense of someone, and I'd like the expense to not be any more people here. I
Fair
can
enough.
know more about your village than I do anything on this island.
Touching speech. What do you want from me? Because that's usually the lead into a request.
I know Indrek was probably Lilo's second. Lilo told me about her deal. I know that the Cantalia...
That's not a good dad dinner. Forgive me.
No.
Angry person.
You have every right to be angry. Your village burned down, your clock was destroyed, and you put your effort and time into it. I understand. I don't understand completely, but I can empathize. There's nothing worse than your entire world falling apart because of someone else's decision. But what I want to do is put as much of it right as I can. And in order to
now
do
I
that,
believe you. Still need to know what you want from me.
I need to find out. I need to help finding a troll baby that disappeared from the house. And by me, I mean me, the changeling, and the soldier. We have other people who will deal with Hugo. I want to ensure the baby's safety, not just because it is required to put things back, but because I actually care about that baby.
It ran? It's not supposed to run. It's supposed to stay put.
I know. And I want to find it. I want to help it. I want it to be safe. More than anything in the world, you have to understand that I care about these two babies more than I give a crap about anything.
So the trick to catching a troll baby is not to go hunting for it. It's to lure him in. Because they're faster than you are. They're more agile than you are. Like, you don't even have a tail.
I'm aware. But I'm hoping that someone might be able to help me find a little bit closer to it, and so that we can actually set a lure that it will see. The other thing I need Indrek. I need to speak to him. I know he was Lilo's second, but I don't know where he went. I also need to return his knife that I borrowed, that I promised I would return after the battle was over.
All right. Speak to him about what exactly?
I need to speak to him about whether or not baby Edvard is okay. Beyond your guys' control.
Baby Edward is fine. He's fine.
He's fine? Then I'll take your word.
Loud little brat, but he's fine.
Then I will take your word for it.
Big kid. Pretty, yeah. My wife said I shouldn't say it, but pretty pudgy.
Yes, human babies are that way sometimes.
It's got rolls. I don't think you should have rolls. You know? Anyway, fine. Bit loud.
Is there anyone who could help us set a lure? Or do you have any advice in setting a lure?
So, yeah, that's two questions. I can give you advice. We can't give you help because we're on the other side of the bargain.
Very well. Can I get advice?
Sure. Make it nice and fluffy, bit of sheepskin, maybe some fresh wool, fresh milk. Just make it all like a comfy little nest. And then, once you have the comfy little nest set up, shiny things.
Got it. Will do. Also, I still need to give his knife back. Or can I leave that with you?
I mean, you said after the battle. There's a fair amount of time that can be construed as being after the battle. I don't think you're in too much of a rush. It's still after the battle tomorrow. Or next week.
Very well.
Just try not to, die before you give it back. But that's like a good rule of thumb in general.
Yeah.
Not
dying. Not getting institutionalized is also a good rule of thumb that I have problems with. But we'll go there another time. Is there any way...
Definitely sounds like a you problem. Not gonna lie.
It is a me problem. We need to get back to the village. Can we bargain for some horses?
We do not have horses because we're generally faster than them anyway. We've got cows, we've got sheep, we've got pigs, some fowl. That covers it. I don't think you want to stand on a bunch of ducks.
Is there any way faster back to the village than the main road?
It depends on your wilderness skills. There's a shortcut, but if you get lost, you're lost. And if you're not good with underbrush, road's probably your best bet.
We can't bargain for a guide for the shortcut?
I mean, he can show you the way, but I'm trying to put this nicely, but humans are just not that great off-road. You know? You can't take to the trees when there's a blockage. You can't leap across a river. You're just not that quick. Or useful.
Valid point. All fair points. We will figure it out.
I mean, I don't know how fast cows go. You can try the cow.
I don't think the cow will be much faster. I think I have an idea.
You can put goats in front of a cart, but I don't know if they'll go.
Yes, they will. They can be stubborn. But I think I have an idea that will work it out so that we can get this done as quickly as possible.
Great. See you at the party tomorrow.
See you at the party. Astrid's going to turn around and go, I think our best bet is to send either Fredrik or Komrik with money, Komrik with money back to the city, rent a carriage, and we will walk down the road and just have the carriage come back and meet us on the main road, and then take a carriage from there.
I suppose I gotta go return the pony anyway.
You mean your hell steed?
Wait, we need that hell steed.
But yeah, I think that's the fastest way. Send someone to town with the horse, with the pony. We all start walking down the road, get as far as we can, get picked up by the carriage, and then have the carriage drive us into town. Rent the carriage for the rest of the day, and then have it bring us back here as soon as we can. Horses would be better if we all are capable of riding.
I don't know about Astrid, but I know Linnea, Fredrik, and Komrik know how to ride.
I would imagine that would be the cheapest way to travel, and if Astrid's been going around looking for things, she would at least have some aptitude on a horse.
Horses
Honestly,
are also
half the time you don't...
in the carriage.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I think horses are better. Personally.
Out of curiosity, in English, what is it called when you cross a horse with a donkey?
Mule.
Is that a mule? Because technically mules are the cheapest way to travel.
It's still some form of riding.
Yeah.
But yes, it's still a form of riding.
Does anyone disagree or have a better idea?
I think. Wait, have you
Thought
come
we would
back?
have started walking already, but because I don't think Fredrik would want to waste a lot of time or take a lot of time.
No, but 30 miles?
It's just 10 hours.
That's why we send Komrik on the pony, and then he comes back with horses. Yes.
No, I like that very, very much.
Yeah.
I'm not opposed to like starting the journey and meeting him partway down the road to save some time. But yeah.
Do you want to be the one who rides the pony back?
I think we already decided that Komrik has the better...
Okay.
I can't remember the word, but like... I think Linnea is more likely to be saddle sore from that much riding in such a little time.
Okay.
As your loving, kind, and considerate DM, before you put Komrik on his hell pony to canter back, is anyone giving him funds to hire horses?
I specifically said someone needed to give him funds.
Yeah.
Yes, but nobody has yet.
Okay.
And it wouldn't be the first time he's trying to do something while being entirely broke.
Linnea will just gesture to Fredrik.
So I'm bringing back 4 horses. Correct?
3.
3. Well, I'm going to trade this pony in for something bigger.
Then maybe keep the pony for me.
Okay.
If I'm used to riding a mule, a pony might be easier for me.
Also, to be fair, we are going to have to
Not wrong.
give Indrek back at some point, so.
He might also just need a break after cantering 30 miles in 10 hours and then 30 miles back again?
Yeah, so not trade him in, sell him, but just board him.
Give
for
the
12
pony
hours.
a rest.
Yeah.
Okay,
good point,
valid
good
point. I didn't think about that. Yes.
Just picturing Indrek going back out for the 3rd time and just collapsing after 2 miles, going, go on without me, I can't.
Oh no.
So yes, you're trading in Indrek and getting 4 horses. Maybe specifying a more gentle-tempered one for me, since I don't have as much riding experience.
I don't feel like we're going to really have too many choices.
Valid point. But yeah.
All right.
So I get on my hell pony.
Linnea
And
digs in her doctor's bag for a couple copper or silver or
Give
whatever
Komrik
coins.
exact change for the horses.
Trying to be subtle about it so Fredrik doesn't see. Linnea's gonna try and slip Komrik some coins for apples or sugar cubes or some sort of cheap treat to bribe the horses for Astrid, the pony.
nice.
I mean, he also has to buy candy, so
Yes.
by all means, shower him in money.
Do you
Astrid
genuinely
leans-
think Linnea knows how much sugar cubes cost? She's probably overpaying.
What could it be? $10?
yeah.
Astrid would while we're walking to get the pony, Astrid would be also I'll pitch in later when I have more access to funds, but he made a deal with the troll child to get it candy, and if he doesn't get it candy, I think we're gonna have more problems.
The wonderful world of saying I promise in a world where magic is real.
Linnea,
Son of a
Astrid
bitch.
tells Linnea that.
Right. So that took us the better part of the start of this episode. 1.5 hours left to finish this. I'm sure we'll manage to make it happen. I actually think it might be break time already, which feels very fast. But I'm sure we'll pick up the pace soon. Right?
We were planning. Now we know what we're doing.
Yes,
Yeah,
and you've
it's-
never gone off plan.
All right. Pet your pets.
On that positive note, we'll see you in
Hi-oh,
roughly 10
hell
minutes.
pony away.
Yes.
Yep, and I'm
We'll
on the
be
way.
back with final episode part 1.
I wish you were wrong. And welcome back to the final 1.5 hours of this episode / this season, where at some point I'll be able to call you heroes, but for now, where our party has 19 hours left to find 2 babies, a rather obstinate nobleman, and his magical musical instrument that he totally got from the trolls and refuses to return. What could possibly go wrong?
To be fair,
Komrik,
we only need
yes.
to find one baby, right? Like, the trolls
if you,
have the...
if you find the correct baby and get the musical instrument and the obstinate nobleman, you will receive a different baby. Basically. If all goes according to plan. Come on, Wilde, stay with it. You've got this.
We're doing great, says the DM.
Komrik has high-hoed hell-ponied away. You and Indrek are casually cantering back towards Arendsburg, which leaves me asking, let's start with Linnea and Fredrik, because I know Baker is typing madly. How do you spend your time left behind in Kali village?
I think we both have
Aren't
the
we
same...
walking down the road in order to shorten the amount of time as possible?
Yeah, I didn't know if you were coming, but I know Fredrik and Linnea both... Right? Fredrik, you were still...
Yeah.
We're gonna, like, meet him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am.
Okay. Walking down the road. Perfect. We can short-circuit some of this by saying, Komrik, you encounter no major difficulties in your travels back to Arendsburg. Indrek fucking hates you. He is tired as hell. He wants you off his back. He wants the saddle off. He wants to be rubbed down. And he wants a year's worth of oats right now.
So when I get back to town, and get like a little bit closer within walking distance, I'll dismount and walk him.
Much appreciated.
Because I can probably feel like he's getting a little restless.
Well, he's been
and my butt probably
restless.
hurts.
Like it's starting to get like a little more stumbly while he's walking.
Oh yeah. So I'll stop by that general store that I've been to before. And grab some treats for horses and then some treats for humans and walk him back, bargaining for 4 horses to head back out.
4 horses to rent, hire, whatever. Okay. They side-eye the condition of Indrek a little bit and go, like, Indrek's the tough pony. You're currently getting riding horses, or rather you're getting 2 riding horses and 2 horses that are normally in front of a carriage, but you can use those for riding. They don't go as far or as hard as Indrek without injury. So be a little more careful with the ones you're getting now.
Duly noted, thank you.
You kill one, you pay full price. And a fine.
Yep. Yeah, that won't happen. Nope.
See to it. You get your horses. Now, I know Komrik is an accomplished rider, having been mounted soldier-ish, adjacent. 3 horses on a lead, though.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. I kind of feel like this calls for some kind of check. I would personally say either force or agility. I'll let you pick between those 2 because, again, I'm a kind of generous DM.
Oh.
Don't
What?
make that face,
Luckily.
Eva. I can see you. We have cameras.
We have cameras everywhere. They will see you. All right. Well, luckily, it's the same for both. So I'll... 1, 2 successes.
2 successes. I would say that is enough to, like, you don't lose one of the horses. There is a few times you have to stop to get two of the mares like out of each other's hair and stop them biting each other while they're trying to run behind you. You make okay time. Not perfect, like it's not a dead canter. I will need another force roll for you because you're pushing through the day, the night, and halfway into the next day without much rest. And I'll need the same from Linnea, Astrid, and Fredrik because no one's stopping for 8 hours sleep and evening meal. So
I
we're
got
gonna
one
start.
success.
One success. Okay.
What are we rolling?
Force.
Force because you're pushing your body.
I've never done this before, and I don't see force on my thing.
Force is one of the physique rolls.
It's the third one down.
Yes.
Oh, I see it now.
It literally says it allows you to walk day and night without suffering a condition.
Mine only says force physique.
Yes, that's correct.
And I missed it.
Oh, I have to remove a dice anyway. No successes.
No successes. Beautiful. Pick another condition.
Oh, God.
It's a good thing they had that spa day.
I'm picking...
Right.
It feels hopeless.
That's fair. Yes.
Since this was a physique, I didn't have to take my 2 out. I should probably check that real quick. Okay, so I got 1 success. Otherwise, I was going to re-roll because I'd only have 1 dice.
That's fair enough. Komrik and Astrid are pulling through okay. Linnea is not having a good time. Fredrik is
I don't know why my dice don't like me.
also not having
no.
a good time. Please take another physical condition, Fredrik.
My first physical for this time.
Was I supposed to take physical, or was it any condition?
Physical.
Oh,
If you feel a because you picked hopeless. No, you have to pick a physical one if you feel a
Exhausted.
physical state.
then I'm just exhausted.
Exhausted sounds like the most sensible. I thought you already were hopeless. I thought that what you were saying.
No, that was
Astrid is hopeless. Right.
that was
I'm
before the spa day. I'm now wounded and exhausted.
wounded and exhausted. Perfect. Fredrik, are you also taking exhausted?
Yes.
Yes. So Astrid, the members of high society are struggling in your forced march through the wooded area. It's definitely wooded. I'm assuming you're not risking the shortcut.
No, we're staying on the main road to meet
On the
him.
main road, yeah.
Can I help by going into my bag? I had that cheese and that bread and those fish that I bought. And because like carbs and protein are both like...
So here's the thing. I kind of assumed you were using your supplies, which is why the difficulty was 1. And it's just for skipping sleep and rest, because you're going from like adrenaline-fueled fighting, fire, everything, straight into a 4-hour march. If you hadn't used your supplies, the difficulty would have been 2, and you all would have failed. So you're definitely doing your part.
Okay, I just wanted to check to see if I could help them.
Took it into account for the DC. I'm also assuming Komrik is eating his own supplies because he bought his own supplies. So there's a lot of happy caviar munching in the woods.
I also left him supplies, so he has double the supplies.
He has so many. To be perfectly fair, Indrek ate some of them.
Nice.
Astrid is then, because she doesn't think Fredrik would enjoy it, but she's going to walk up to Linnea and ask her if she wants to hear a story.
Yeah. Yeah, why not? Nothing much else to do on this road.
Astrid, because I'm assuming 4 times sick, I won't actually tell the story. Astrid tells Linnea the story of a village girl who meets the most handsome stranger she's ever seen and falls in love. And despite all of the troubles and misguidedness, they get married and they have a child and they live happily ever after raising that child.
It's a pretty good story. I do like the happy endings.
Happy endings are always the best.
Do you think
I don't know. What?
Do you think this will have a happy ending?
I don't see a happy ending either way. I just see an ending, which in its own right is good, because a non-ending means that Agnes lives with the death of her husband and her child for the rest of her life. A town mourns an entire village burned to the ground, and a baby is lost to raise itself on its own. There's nothing worse for, honestly, at the end of this, the person who bears the worst is Agnes. There's nothing worse than losing a child. There's nothing worse than waking up one day and realizing that your child will never be around, or that you don't know where they are and if they are okay. So I think there will be an end, and hopefully it's the best ending we can ask for, but I don't think it'll ever be a happy ending.
Well, then let's just do the best we can.
And that's all we can do. Right, Frederick?
Grunts.
I haven't even been drinking, Frederick. Why don't you tell us a story, since we have so much time?
First off, I don't believe you.
Remember, I get high, Linnea gets drunk.
Tipsy.
As if they're not interchangeable.
It's tipsy. Wait.
Very true. A lady never gets drunk, she only gets tipsy and fun.
Mm.
All right. Do we ever meet up with Komrik?
I was about to say, if Frederick steadfastly refuses to entertain us all with sordid tales from his checkered past, we'll skip fast and fast forward a little bit, leaving all your horrible crimes entirely implied. And you do, in fact, meet up with Komrik, who has a number of horses available.
Probably be a very vague story. Like, there's once someone who said too much and did too little, and they are now forever lost. The end.
Good story,
Lost.
Frederick.
Solid.
Implies you don't know where they are. I'm pretty sure you remember the corpses.
I mean, lost to
Cool.
someone.
Hey, this could have been a while ago. He doesn't know where the worms that ate their body are.
Technically accurate. Your party is merrily reunited on this cheerful topic. Komrik, you come riding up as you catch the tail end of a conversation that involves worms. Linnea and Frederick aren't looking too hot. They're still both incredibly attractive people, don't get me wrong, but they look like shit.
We're not sweating recklessly.
They're walking in that way when you're trying to pretend not every single square inch of your foot is killing you, but it is. And you know that if you take your shoes off now, you will not wear them again for a week. And at some point, one of your blisters got a blister.
Ooh, the best.
Like one of them opened and is seeping. That's roughly what Komrik, who by the way at this point is in fact feeling the saddle pain, rides in on. So you can offer some relief to the hikers.
Not a moment too soon.
Yeah, he jumps off and he's like, "Yeah, me too," and he starts rubbing his bottom.
You do. Go go through
Linnea
your
is
knees a
scandalized.
little bit too much because your thighs are like, nope.
Yes.
Pretend it didn't happen. Hold on to the saddle for a little bit.
Yeah. All right. So, is this where we part ways?
No, I think we need to get back to town and then we part ways there.
Yeah, I lost track of the baby some point after the church. Heading north, so probably just north of town.
All right.
Right.
So start writing that stuff down and making like a makeshift map, documenting where.
Komrik, how are your tracking skills?
Well, I mean, I got a compass, and I got a astrolabe, and some advantage on investigation. That's about it.
That's not good. You can just say that I'm good.
Well, so we need to obtain fresh milk and sheep wool and sheepskin to make a soft bed.
Well, I wish you would have told me. I went by the store earlier.
It
You
looks
were told.
good kill. It
Astrid's
looks good
face.
kill.
I wasn't there. I was not there.
I said I told you guys everything.
I'm not sure if it's Baker's face or Astrid's face, but
It's the same.
always a dead man.
It's the same.
Astrid, based on that learning check you did earlier,
Yeah.
so trolls like if they can find a nice cave or a nice tree house, they really like old ruins. So
Hey.
if there's like any ruins nearby and you make a little nest there, there's a fair chance you're gonna catch a troll baby.
There were ruins in near town. Where were they?
Several.
The castle.
There's a fuck ton of ruins. Pick any of them.
And really,
There-
like, this probably is for the best because you said fresh milk, right? And being jostled between Arnsburg and wherever the
Where we're at
wherever
now.
we are now,
It's safe.
it it probably wouldn't be so fresh, right? It'd be like,
Butter.
yeah, so probably best to pick it up when back in town anyway.
We'll go into town. We'll pick up the supplies we need. We'll find cheap, shiny objects. They don't have to be expensive. And we'll head to ruins behind the church, because I believe I remember there were ruins behind the church, and that's where the child would most likely go.
Well, as long as it's not on church grounds, right? Because it
Yep,
was avoiding
well-
the church pretty hard.
We'll go back behind the church.
Literally cannot enter consecrated ground.
There's
We'll
also
go-
the castle.
No, the castle's occupied.
Is it? I thought it
All
was
right,
open
let's
castle.
let's
People
get,
live in the castle.
Yeah.
There's some small ruins just outside of town on the side of the church.
Yeah.
There's a number of ruins around Galdi Crater that no one asked about. Or actually nobody's even been to the crater yet. So it didn't
I was told
naturally-
not to go.
it didn't naturally come. How often do your characters not go somewhere you're told not to go?
Yeah, but I was told by.
Don't go to the church. Everybody goes to the
Astrid
church.
knows.
Okay. So for once in your life, you behaved, and now you misinformation. Lesson learned.
We're gonna go.
There are plenty of ruins around.
We're gonna go to the ones by. I suggest we start at the ones by the church because the child isn't gonna want to go too far from what it considers its home.
That seems reasonable.
So let's do that. We should also see if we can find some
We're gonna split
What
up.
I would know what baby trolls eat. So fresh milk and meat?
Baby trolls eat just about anything, just like regular trolls.
Okay. So we'll also pick up some
Trolls
fresh
are basically the
fish.
goats of the Vaesen world.
We'll pick up some fresh fish. We'll kill it there. We'll pick up some live fish and we'll kill it when we get there.
We're saying all this on the road, too.
I assume that this was during travel. Don't worry.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, we've been burned in the past.
I know, but
Yes.
we're left and are feeling generous.
Yes, I assumed we were traveling. I figured that's all the planning we really need to do right now. And then I figured you and Fredrik could talk about how you're going to approach the people.
Diplomatically.
Hey,
I have a plan.
Does it involve making me look like I haven't been traveling 14 hours straight through a fire?
I think you look lovely.
Oh.
I mean, you smell like a troll and a fire, but you look lovely. There, I will point out, all of you smell like you were in a fire.
To be fair, Astrid smelled like dead fish earlier, so she also thinks Linnea smells lovely as well.
Linnea smells like a fire. Astrid smells like a fire on a fishing vessel. And Komrik smells like a fire on a fishing vessel with a little bit of potpourri.
No, I have the potpourri.
Oh,
No, I went to a bathhouse, so I'm a little bit cleaner.
He also went to the bathhouse and got pretty.
But he also has a
Because
slight
time wasn't an issue.
horse
Fredrik gave me
undercurrent,
potpourri.
which we're all gaining at this point.
You arrive back at Arensburg. Plans, actions. I'm gonna start
split.
getting timers for this.
Oh no, we split. Linnea and Fredrik go to the von Kaiserling residence.
Before we split, I asked Komrik how much money he has left.
Nothing.
I was gonna say, like, I'm sure they pretty much price gouged me on the.
Linnea
smell
snaps at
horses.
Fredrik, points at Komrik.
She has I have like a silver left.
For the troll baby bait.
I give you 1 copper.
For wool and milk and something, they need something more than that.
2 coppers.
For wool
Fine.
milk?
3 coppers.
Is that enough for me? 1 silver and 3 coppers?
No, don't be ridiculous. Frederick's not getting pudding at Christmas.
Fredrik,
What's the cost of milk and wool?
We're talking like a full, freshly shorn sheep wool, like the entire thing, not like. Give as much as you think Frederick would spare. While Linnea is giving you the death glare.
Might I point out that everything hinges on this? It's not even worth it to talk to Count von Kaiserling or go through everything we just did if we don't get this baby safe and sound.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Frederick would try to give them as a close to exact change as possible.
He'll bring you change back if there's any.
No, he won't. I know his type.
you're giving it to me. That might make it worse.
And I know your type.
Yeah.
I'll give them 1 gold.
All right.
Beautiful.
We have 1 gold and 1
Thank
silver.
you.
Yes. Okay. So we have Team Hugo and Team Baby Nest. Feel free to come up with better code names, but I'm sticking with mine. I would like to start with Team Baby Nest.
Okay.
During your shopping trip, other than the wool and the milk and the live fish, how are you carrying live fish? You don't get a little plastic baggie in 1888.
No,
Yeah.
I just mean we're going to buy, because so when you go to docks,
Fresh
or at
fish.
least when I go to docks, they still have the ones that are alive in like a bucket of seawater, and you take those. That's
The
what
bucket is extra.
No. What I mean is like they'll take it out and they'll like just you ask them to brain it and they kill it through shock.
You want them? You're buying them brained. Perfect.
Yes.
Yes. Easy enough. Your shiny objects of choice.
I am looking for. So in this time, would like shiny buttons be cheaper, or would like
Buttons are mainly made of both.
What about stirrups?
If I can make a bold suggestion,
yeah?
you could buy a mirror and smash it.
Oh,
I won't even give your character 7 years of bad luck.
Why do
I
I
would
not believe you?
override the worst curse already there.
I don't need to make this worse for you. You're doing fine on your own, as usual.
that
So as we're in there,
mirror, or if they have any like rain, process it, sugar candies that sparkle. No, it's nighttime. Never mind.
Not really.
Okay.
I mean, they're sugar candies, but they're not particularly shiny.
Okay.
No, your best bet is one of those. Like you have pretty good mirrors at this point, which are a little bit out of your price range, but you can get one of the semi-cheap ones that is like a glaze over silver background.
Okay.
You can get one of those. Coincidentally, that's why vampires originally couldn't see their reflection, because mirrors were backed by silver. I always find it hilarious because modern vampires can see their reflection perfectly fine because we don't use silver anymore.
huh?
You can also photograph vampires nowadays because we don't use colloidal silver to develop the plates anymore. Educational. Anyway, buy a mirror and you can smash it later. Does Team Baby Nest need to do anything else? Want to do anything else, even?
I'm gonna see if I can trade in my silver cross necklace, my memento,
Your memento.
to get more shiny things and money.
Are we talking solid silver or plated silver?
It's a silver cross. I don't know. I rolled for it when we made characters.
I think that's a silvered one rather than solid silver.
Gotcha.
I'm mainly checking because the price point makes a fair amount of difference.
What does the book say?
I'm
It just
looking
says
it up right
silver.
now. Silver.
Under
Straight
mementos.
silver. Okay. You can trade it in. You can actually get, like, if you don't want to get shiny things for it, you can get like a sheepskin with like the wool still on it, still untreated. Like it literally still smells like a sheep. You can get one of those for your silver cross, and then you can use the money for the sweets and the mirror.
Perfect. I'll do that. Especially since my faith has now changed quite a bit.
Yes. We will be talking about that in between seasons 1 and 2. But for now, you gain a rather large, very heavy, very greasy feeling sheepskin, because sheep's wool is so greasy when it's fresh. Okay.
All right.
That is it for Team Baby Nest.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And we would head towards the ruins.
Start heading for the ruins. Perfect. All right. Team Aristocats.
It's not like too late to be sociable, is it?
It's almost too early to be sociable at this point.
What?
Yeah,
You
we
traveled
traveled
through the
most
night.
of the night.
You traveled
Oh,
through
that's
the night,
true.
like the sun's coming up. Like this staff will be preparing breakfast. Most of the proper people will still be abed.
Hmm.
Unless they're hunters, but rare breed.
Does that mean they could get a couple hours of sleep and try and recover a little bit?
If you want to try and fix a condition, you need a full day of rest.
Okay.
So you can do it for story purposes, but mechanically, no.
Yeah.
Do we have enough time to freshen up a little? We should do that.
Yes, you do have time to freshen up before meeting with the von Kaiserling.
Yes. Would very much like to do that.
Great. You once again end up smelling more like lavender than horse. Your hair no longer reminds people of that one time the village burned down.
Just the other time.
Much better all around. And without Astrid and Komrik, that obnoxious, briny fish smell is also gone.
Oh, good. For this purpose, how good.
Wonderful. So assuming a little time has passed and hopefully enough time for them to be post breakfast, we should probably head over.
We'll present ourselves at the door.
The butler is perfectly proper with Linnea and gives a knowing nod to Fredrik.
Well, thank you for answering. If you could relay a message to the Count. I have gone over his book with Ms. Holmgren, and we would like to sample some of the musical arrangements spoken of to possibly relay it to the Holmgrens upstate.
You are in luck if you wish to. He is currently in his music room.
Wonderful. Oh, and he will probably be wanting to travel with us for some business. So just to make it easier, if we could probably start getting a carriage ready just in case. If that's not too much.
Even if he decides not to join you, honestly, the stable could use the work.
Thank you.
It's very clear, like the butler clearly feels the people in the house do far more work than the stable. Like there's a certain amount of glee where he goes, "Yes, I shall inform the stable."
Linnea has, like, as soon as Fredrik started talking about the music, she just sort of, like, the aloof socialite is what
Why would you speak to the butler?
Oh, she wouldn't. She barely speaks to her own butler.
Fair enough. The butler sends a runner to the stables and gestures for you to follow him as he precedes you to the music room. You hear, again, a really wonderful song, which is amazing since I actually don't hear my own music right now. It's an instrument you've heard once before, namely the last time you were here. And you can almost get like a vision of Kali Village as he's playing on this. Hugo doesn't necessarily acknowledge you. He's very much lost in his fancy instrument. And the butler sort of deposits you inside the door, turns to Linnea and goes, "Tea?
Please.
Refreshments?"
Please.
Turns on his heel and goes.
Is there like a, it's like a salon, there's like chairs.
Oh yeah, there's like those cute little half seats that are all turned towards the window where Hugo is on his little windowsill playing what you assume is a cantate, because I don't think you've actually encountered said instrument before.
Then Linnea is going to take a seat somewhere close, but not like right up front, and let him continue to play for a little while.
Okay. He just finishes the song, which is rather a sad one for obvious reasons, before putting the instrument away and acknowledging your presence. Like he's not talking to you. There's been a little bit too much for him to go, welcome. He's just at your elbow, tea and some refreshments up here.
I'm not going to do it into the mic, but
Appreciate it.
she's going to clap appropriately for the situation, like not over enthusiastically because it's a sad song, but
the polite clap of someone wearing day gloves.
Right. Oh, that was wonderful. I couldn't interrupt you. You were just... It's captivating, isn't it?
Yes, the traditional music of this area seems to have that effect on people in general. It might be the language, I feel.
Estonian?
It's an old version of it. There's intonations and words that you don't find in modern Estonian.
I've never really had a head for languages. But it's beautiful, I know that.
He gives you that condescending man smile going, oh, you poor dear, you probably don't have a head for anything.
I was wondering, a real quick sidebar, because I feel like we would have discussed this maybe a little bit more. Fredrik, are we luring him, or are we straightforwarding this?
I'm not in the sidebar.
Yeah, no, this is... We've had hours, but I feel...
You have a letter from Astrid, by the way.
Yes,
Should you wish to use it.
Yeah, I've got that pulled up.
I would say luring him, and then if that doesn't take, he's coming whether he wants to or not.
Yeah. I suspected I knew Fredrik's ultimate option. I was just wondering what your plans for the day were. It's so stuffy to be cooped up here in this house right now, right? Wouldn't this music be better out? Not in here, but out in the open where people could hear it. I was thinking of having a little outdoor salon. And she says it like that salon sort of way, that annoying.
Mm-hmm. If you'd allow me to finish my sentence, I was rather hoping Dr. Norman will allow me to visit my wife.
Oh, is she doing better?
I don't know. I haven't been allowed to see her. They're worried I might set her off again, which is why I intend to go there momentarily and find out.
That's understandable. You know what would probably really calm her down?
The return of our child?
Yeah.
Could I attempt to take him to the side just a little bit, just like have a small conversation with Mr. von Kaiserling.
Linnea will have a sandwich.
Please. So
Yeah.
there's this weird, like, yes, he's willing to talk to you because you're the only other man in the room, but you're also the help. So he's a little torn on how much he needs to listen to you, but he is willing to hear you out.
Nice. In very proper and demure help voice. I am assuming, like, I understand the dire circumstances of the day, but see, Miss Linnea was hoping to sample your music to possibly, bring back to the stateside for the homegrowns and, do a possible, what do you call it, a concert for, for the elites up there.
As
she wouldn't
as
exactly feel
honored as I
comfortable.
am, I must stop you there. As honored as I am, and I truly am, normally I'd be very excited, but surely both of you understand this is hardly the time for me to leave, and my child is missing and my wife is in a sanatorium.
Yes.
I know I've been described as obsessed, but I think I've recently found some of my limits.
No, it's totally understandable. I'm gonna try and knock him out.
Beautiful. Make an attack roll.
Could we at least not try my letter?
Why be honest if you can just hit them?
Right? I mean, it's worked all the other times.
Look at who you sent. I think we're just going close combat for you on this one.
Because you usually close combat usually is if you have a weapon force when you're doing fisticuffs.
So you want to go full hand to hand?
Indeed.
Okay. You get to roll force, and I'm pretty sure I get to roll vigilance to see if I see that fist coming.
Go for it.
Yes.
All right.
This is
Let
like
me
the
find-
first contested.
Let me just find Hugo's stats real quick somewhere in this book. There it is. Wow, he does not have a lot of empathy. No wonder he's a dick. Okay.
I got 2.
Hugo's got
Successes?
nothing. Hugo's got nothing.
Oh.
You bonked him.
In my defense, I only get 2 die. He's not very good at this.
Linnea just pauses mid-sandwich.
Yep. You had 2 successes?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to are you going like full to the temple for unconsciousness, or are you going fist to the face and then a grapple?
Temple.
Temple. Perfect. Let me just give Hugo a condition. And he's out cold. On the floor at your feet. With potential brain damage.
I hand the instrument to Miss Linnea.
How big is this thing?
I put a picture of it in
Well, yeah,
Discord.
but there's
You-
no scale.
You play it on your lap.
So it will not fit my doctor's bag.
No.
Is there any sort of a case for it around the room?
There is a sack for it.
I would like to
I
take
only,
a
I only
sack.
have art where people are playing and not actual pictures of where people are. Here, I'll put another picture in Discord and you can get an idea of the size. It will not go in your doctor's.
Okay, that's as
Oh, right.
It's got a long end.
Yeah, okay. Which makes sense for the strings. Yes. I would like to put it in a sack. I would like to put the rest of the sandwiches in my doctor's bag.
Always take the sandwiches.
She's lording, like...
Yep.
They're very good sandwiches. And I assume the sack has some sort of, like, thing to... Yeah.
It has a single shoulder strap, so it goes between the boobs, and then you're good to go. Very indecent for a lady of your standing.
Okay, well... How do you propose getting him into the carriage?
At that point, you hear it. Your carriage is ready.
He had a terrible fainting spell. We should get him to Dr. Norman straight away.
Roll to manipulate.
That is not the right thing. Manipulate.
That is mental, though, so I'm pretty sure you lose a die.
Manipulate is empathy.
Yes.
Oh, that's investigation. So manipulate 1, 4, so 4.
And then the poor butler gets to observation against you.
2.
2.
2 and 2?
2 and 2.
Aww.
Butlers see things. They know people.
They do see things. They do know people.
He's
Also, there's a bruise on his temple.
Yeah, he hit it when he hit the floor.
Yeah.
Just bounced right off that table.
Does he look like he
He's looking like he would very much appreciate an explanation that does not involve pointless violence and the constabulary.
Oh, okay. I'm just looking at him and be like, you've come to solve the issue with the child. And we needed his cooperation in any form possible.
The child will
Please
come
be
back.
mindful of the priest as you travel.
It's been
Absolutely.
taken care of.
Wonderful.
They're very good sandwiches.
I expect him home soon.
Tomorrow at the latest.
Wonderful. I'll inform the staff.
Little help getting him to the carriage?
I've got it. No worries, Miss Linnea.
I just worry about you on the stairs.
He does follow you because he packed an overnight bag for Hugo.
Perfect.
He needs a new suit after 6.
As standard.
Exactly. You don't go anywhere without your smoking jacket. That'd be rude. And by overnight bag, I mean trunk.
Yep.
You hoist him into the carriage. He does groan a little as you manhandle them, so fortunately you didn't make him comatose. And if you would like to instruct the driver as to your destination, we will skip back to Team Baby Nest.
Perfect.
36 minutes to go to solve the mystery. All right.
I started like laying down the sheepskin and making like a rightful nest.
Astrid takes out, like, because she has her bag, she takes out her dress and wraps the mirror in it and shatters it, and then picks out the bigger pieces and lays them in there, and the non-bigger pieces she takes to, like, just off to the side and shakes them so she doesn't have to worry about anyone getting hurt by them.
Okay.
And then she takes, she tells Cormac we should stand off a little to the side.
How are we gonna catch this thing?
We're gonna try and talk to it. We're gonna offer it candy and fresh milk and fish because I'm sure it's hungry. We're going to leave the fresh milk there, but we're going to bring the fish as a peace offering.
All right.
And we stand off to the side.
Okay, this troll baby rolls amazingly well for sniffing out your wonderful, wonderful troll baby nest. So it doesn't take very long at all before you hear, like, the child itself doesn't necessarily make a lot of noise, but you hear rustling in the branches before it sort of drops down into that nest, goes straight for the milk, while sort of batting at some of the glass shards with one of its hands. It's adorable, but for Komrik a little disconcerting because this baby is even more inhuman than some of the troll children you saw at Kali Village. Like, the face has all wrong proportions. It has horns. The tail looks more like a cow's tail. I mean, it's still kind of adorable, but it's also pretty fucked up.
Astrid, I think you're up.
Astrid's going to move forward slowly and say, "Hi."
It ignores you and swallows one of the fish whole.
And I walk up with more fish. And I sit down.
It sort of makes little grabby motions at the fish.
And she hands it to the baby and goes, Would you like to go somewhere safe? Would you like to be somewhere safe? Would you like more fish and more milk?
You see his little face go, as it sort of hones into the ridiculous amount of sugar Komrik is carrying.
We can give you
And it sort of pushes aside one of the fish you're offering and like goes on all fours towards Komrik, just going.
All right, little one. So you're going to have to come with us if you want to get some sweets.
It's 3 months old. It doesn't talk yet. I don't know what you're expecting.
He just sticks his hand down like come
with us.
Are you going to come with us?
It is holding a decapitated fish in one hand and is still sort of making grabbing motions with the other one and holding a piece of glass in its tail while trying not to get off the sheepskin.
Astrid is just going to pick up the sheepskin and say, Komrik, you're going to hold the reins while I hold the baby.
All right.
And that's what we're going to do. We're going to ride back to Kali with Astrid holding the baby in the sheepskin, giving it fish and candy, while Komrik leads the horse. Does that work?
It does. I mean, assuming Komrik can...
So he's going to give
Stay
the
centered.
baby one candy. Because yeah.
Yep.
And then, I'll assist Astrid onto the horse and lead them. What's that?
What?
Could you just roll agility for me real quick?
Me? Or
Right.
Okay.
I just want to see if you lose a finger.
Oh, fuck. Is that like a sacrificial finger?
It's more of a, are you quick enough to snatch your hand back while you're handing it candy?
Oh. Well, I'm not putting it near its mouth.
It puts his mouth near you. There's a difference.
Yeah. No successes.
No successes. Take a damage as the child briefly transforms in what seems to be a piranha with arms and just sort of snaps at you as you're handing it candy.
Oh. Is that a
Like it
where do
just
I put that?
lunges for it.
Oh, I don't like that at all.
You can't be mad at it. It's a baby. It doesn't know any better.
Like he just grabs like his a handkerchief and wraps his finger to stop the bleeding.
Yep, that's fair. Alright,
As
you travel back
curses.
to Kali Village.
All right.
Team
This music.
Team Aristocats, you're in a carriage and Count von Kaiserling wakes up because, again, not comatose.
Hi. You okay? You had a bit of a nasty tumble.
No, I think your manservant punched me.
Yeah, but you fell after that.
Like a bag of rocks.
Would you like to explain to me what exactly is going on?
Yes. So you sort of made a deal, right? And then you kind of went back on that deal, and it's gone sideways for pretty much everyone.
I did not go back on the deal. I recorded their songs and stories, and I am sharing them with the world, Miss Holmgren.
Mm-hmm. And this Cantalia? Nope.
Cantalia.
Cantalia.
But fair effort.
Is this a replica, or is this one maybe that you were supposed to return?
It was a gift from a rather kind lady.
No, it really wasn't. And you know that, don't you?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, here's
Layla gave this to me for me to perform in her inn. I spent many nights performing for her patrons.
Right, and you're no longer in her inn, are you? And
Well, I intend to return before the full moon.
when is the full moon?
Yeah, go like a few days out.
Okay.
He just assumes he can just keep performing there.
Yeah, okay. So the thing is, your wife is locked up, your baby's missing, and if you return this tonight, everything's gonna be okay. Everything's gonna be fixed. But you've only got till tonight.
It's a fairly bold statement, and I'm missing a lot of factual information.
Okay. So, first of all, you've got well, oh, you didn't meet Astrid. There's a seer who sees this going one of two ways.
Pardon, a seer?
Yes. Do I need to explain what that is?
You surely cannot expect me to believe it's real.
Well, you could find out, because one way it's gonna go is you and your wife, you hold your wife holds your actual child, your baby boy, Edward, I think it is.
Yes.
Or, and let me know how this sounds, your wife is sent away for insanity, and you're left alone. You get to live with the guilt that you traded the love of your life, which is really romantic, and your child away in the pursuit of fame and notoriety. The guilt is going to eventually eat away at you until one day you walk to your son's nursery with a rope. You're going to step upon a ladder, tie the rope to the rafters, content warning, kids, and loop the end. As you take your last deep breath, you're going to slip that loop around your neck, step off the ladder, and you will hear the crack as your neck snaps and your life ends alone, bathed in your selfishness. Now, I can't know your heart, but you probably do.
This was never about fame and notoriety. This was about scientific discovery.
Well, it's been discovered, and a lot of people are hurting because of you.
Roll manipulation.
Two. That last die like teetered, and then I was like, no, 4.
So, in total,
2 in total.
2 in total. Okay. So, I will tell you that I rolled 1 on observation, which means he can't quite tell how honest you're being. Sort of taking away one of your successes.
But I am being honest. Does that count for anything?
I was about to ask, you can either side-eye Fredrik and try to get Fredrik to help you in this scene. Otherwise, I might suggest you push your roll.
Oh, heck, why not?
Okay?
That's just re-rolling my failures, right?
Yes. While taking a condition.
Any condition? Any condition at all?
Be mental, considering you're using a mental stat.
I'm gonna go angry, because at this point, he's being obstinate, and I'm tired of this nonsense.
Yep, no, that sounds fair.
No successes.
No success.
No additional successes.
I will reroll.
Can I still side-eye Fredrik?
For help?
In addition?
I mean, if Fredrik helps you in this scene, you get an extra die. But there's help and there's help. So it largely depends on how Fredrik helps. Yeah, that's what I'm worried about. But by all means, side-eye Fredrik.
I'm gonna wait and see what he says.
Yeah, no, I ended up meeting you for successes. So he can tell that at the very least you believe you're telling the truth. And up until a few days ago, he would have sworn there was no such thing as the supernatural. But then his baby changed into a monster mid-exorcism, so maybe he was a little bit wrong for the past 40-something years.
And I will stress, his actual baby will be returned.
Yeah, no, that is definitely what is getting him right now. Like, he doesn't need the freak with the horns and the tails, but his actual baby is very tempting prospect, so he just sort of slumps back in the seat of his carriage and goes, so what's the deal?
Well, you, the Cantelia, and...
Cantele, please. There's no I in Cantele.
Cantelia.
Please stop correcting the miss.
Educating a young woman of marriageable age, you should be appreciative. I'm enhancing her value.
The Cantelia. Cantelia.
Crack my knuckles while staring at him.
You, this instrument, which we are keeping very safe, and I should have specified, it is like not just slung somewhere in a corner of the carriage.
In a corner praying it'll be fine.
Yeah. And the other child will be exchanged. I'm sorry, the instrument, you have to be there, but the instrument, the other child, will be exchanged for Edward tonight at midnight.
You have the demon. And he sort of panicked, looks around the carriage, goes, you have a demon in this carriage with us?
No. It is not here.
Father Cornelius said it came straight from hell. Where is...
Not here.
You do calm
not
me
here.
down, sir.
It will... it will be exchanged. We'll all meet together at midnight. You don't have to... Probably... I don't even know if you have to see it.
You know what? At this point, whatever.
That's the spirit. She'll pat his knee.
He looks at you shocked for like physical contact from an unmarried woman and just, please, ma'am, I have to explain this to my wife later.
And isn't that exciting? You get your wife back.
Yes, that is quite exciting. All right. Hugo's cooperation secured in a comfortable carriage on your way back to Kali Village. We'll fast forward a little bit because 20 minutes left. Yeah, no, there's a real life timer running. You'll meet up with Astrid and Komrik. Question. Are you riding into, mainly to Astrid and Komrik, are you riding into town with a troll baby in a sheepskin, just straight up into the village center?
No, we're going to Kali Lake.
Okay.
Where we need to go.
Much smarter.
Or,
We're just
well,
skipping,
actually-
skipping the.
What are you?
I should ask Komrik. I don't think it's a good idea to bring the child back until we've made the trade. I don't think they would go back on the trade. I think as long as the child is safe, they will go through the trade. But
Shouldn't we make sure that someone's going to be there from the town? Like, I don't know, the person that made the deal in the first place?
The person who made the deal in the first place is very dead.
we do need to make sure
Some
Indrek.
type of representative from the city? I don't know.
Indrek should be there, but if we want to go in and leave a message for Indrek that he should meet us at Kali Lake, we can. But
So-
I will wait on the outside of town where I am still partially visible, but holding the baby.
I will point out, Astrid, the conversation you had with the unnamed elder would
Yeah.
definitely count as notice.
Okay.
Besides, it's the summer solstice. They will be at the crater anyway.
All right. Wait, are we going to Kali Lake or Kali Crater?
The lake is in the crater.
Okay. I just wanted to double check.
Behold,
And that's-
it is
and
a
that's
lake
just
in
north?
a crater.
Okay. Then we are just going straight to Kali Lake.
And that's just north of the Cali village, correct?
Well, yes.
Where that dot is?
Like
on
you
the
can't,
map?
you can't like see it from the village. It's not like a stone throw away, but it's a very manageable distance from the village.
All right.
Also, Astrid is playing with the pieces of glass with the baby.
After a little bit, the baby just sort of fell asleep.
Okay.
It's really fucking tired, and it doesn't want to make like a body roll to try and stay awake for 48 hours. It's just
Fair enough.
tired. It's sort of like it's using mirror shards as a pacifier.
Astrid's just like cooing over it.
Astrid, the form that you show us, is that your normal form, being a changeling?
Yes, I'm human. I just lived with trolls at some point in time.
Was that supposed to be convincing?
Yes. I was
Yeah.
traded back when I was young.
So you were in the same situation?
Yes, I don't know what my parents made a deal for or how they got me back, but they got me back. Not that it made much difference.
No, but I think it goes a long way to understanding what's going on with this baby. So
I mean, it does, but at the same time, this child deserves a loving home as much as any. You may find it strange or unnerving, I'm assuming, from some of the face expressions you've made, but it's a child. It's helpless. It's been separated from the people who were supposed to love it, and now I just want to make sure that it finds someone who does love it.
On a deeper level, I do understand being taken away from a family that was supposed to care and love for something. So I do understand that, and I want to make this right. Just trying to figure out how I'm supposed to do that.
Taken away is one thing. Your family banishing you, harming you in order to get you to leave. It's not
because you look
thing.
A certain way, because you don't fit their mold. Yeah, I know quite a bit about that.
Okay.
Where I'm from, the way that I look makes me lower than most. Makes me property to some. And that's why I ran. That's why I left my family. That's why my family didn't want me, because I didn't look like them. So I do know a little bit about that. I think that whatever we can do to right this is good, but I don't know if these people will ever fully accept who this baby is, you know?
The trolls will love this child. I was speaking of Hugo and Agnes. But if we ever meet your family, do you mind if I kill them?
Well, I don't. I really don't think that they're around anymore, and if they were, sure. We'll get through that.
Everybody deserves to feel accepted somewhere in the world. Maybe you can find your place.
That's what I'm looking for.
Maybe with the society.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that happened to you.
I'm sorry what happened to you also.
I never said anything happened to me.
Sure.
Are we at Kelly Lake?
So you're stopped a little bit before the lake, not by anything visible or physical, just more a rather unwelcoming feeling. Like Astrid would recognize this as trollcraft. You're pretty sure there's like a ward here that, considering the deal you have with the elders of Kali Village, like it'll let you in when it's time.
Astrid would relay that to Komrik.
Yeah, Komrik's gonna jump down off of the horse and like walk both horses in.
Okay.
Giving them maybe a couple apples or something like that to try to calm their nerves.
I think, given that it's magic and trollcraft and horses can be sensitive, do you want to take the baby for a second? I'll get down and we'll tie the horses out here.
Yeah, it's probably for the best. Yeah.
I will point out the horses seem pretty chill with this.
Oh, okay. I didn't. Yeah. Okay.
Seems to be a rather specific anti-human thing. For reasons.
So it won't let us in, right?
No, not yet.
Then Astrid's still going to ask Komrik to take the baby so she can get down, and she's just going to lay the sheepskin as possible in the shade so the baby isn't disturbed by the sun, and just sit by the baby.
we will fast forward a little bit to Linnea, Fredrik, and Hugo and their coach driver, who is pulling up to the smoldering remains of the town center of Kali Village. Sort of rapping on the roof, signaling that you've arrived.
Hey,
We all know we're going towards the lake, right?
yeah, I'm just wondering if our dear driver could pick us up in a bit, or at least Hugo and a child somewhere in there.
He'll, like, your carriage driver will wait where he is.
Okay, just checking. And then we'll start the trek up to the crater.
Okay. Hugo is sulking a little bit, and wants to carry the kantele himself.
That seems fair.
But you agree.
Assume we're going to walk with him side by side so that he's in the middle.
Yeah.
Linnea's just
Definitely.
gonna have her hand in her pocket. I mean, unless they're like doing like serious hiking. Otherwise, she's just gonna have her revolver ready in her pocket.
As anticipated. Okay. Hugo behaves on the way to Kali Lake. There's a fairly obvious path down to the location, so you would meet up with Astrid and Komrik near there. Some weird woofing in the distance. It's definitely not my dogs in real life at all.
Komrik, is that you woofing?
Must
Wouldn't be
it.
surprised.
Is that the signal we agreed on? I don't think that's the signal.
What is wolfing?
You tell me.
Maybe
It's
it's
me.
sleeping.
Yes. Hi. Yes, it's us.
Okay, I thought I heard like a woof, woof. Oh, it's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We're over here.
Oh, good. We have one Count von Kaiserling and
Mm-hmm.
He looks like he has a headache.
Oh. Was that from Fredrik or was that from you, Linnea?
don't be silly. I'd have just shot him.
I know. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Astrid like gives a thumbs up to that.
Okay.
So I guess we wait.
Do
Yeah.
I feel like the barrier will let us in now? Since all of us are here.
No, but roughly around midnight it does.
Oh, good.
So unless there's any last minute, literally 6 minutes to go, plans to be discussed, I suggest you go join the festivities at Kali Lake.
Can we hear like what's going on?
You mainly hear rather beautiful music. There's a little bit of fog rolling in. It smells really good here. Like it smells of fresh flowers and juniper, and it's a little damp, but most of you are dressed for the weather, so it doesn't bother anyone. The troll kid has woken up and is trying to grab Astrid's braid. There is
Watch your fingers.
more than enough moonlight for you to find the path down to the crater. It's not really a big crater. It's like 30 meters across total. It's always shaded here because it's completely surrounded by trees. The water is that clear but greenish. There's remains of what used to be a defensive wall, very much overgrown by now, so it's very, very old. Yeah, there's several bonfires. Every bonfire has a different group of trolls playing music. The party. You suddenly understand what Lalo said when she said, "Hey, go party."
Astrid's
I'll also point out, I'm assuming most of you are like keeping an eye out. You do see numerous trolls. Not all of them are sticking to their super humanoid forms. There are some very gnarled looking, like almost like twisted tree stumps that turn out to be a troll. More of the horned creatures. They're clearly not all of them are concerned with appearing normal right now.
I'm more keeping an eye on Hugo.
He is working his way into a panic attack.
Yep.
And I'm looking for Indrek.
Indrek is near one of the larger bonfires, and he's giving one of the incantations. You can hear him say, "Tonight we celebrate the memory of the falling star that brought fire back to us. We will sing from dusk till dawn on this of the shortest of nights." He has his back to you, but as he turns around, he is in fact holding a baby. Very much asleep, looking suspiciously human.
Astrid is going to go, "I have a child and an instrument. I think you have the baby that I'd like."
"I think my deal is not with you." And he turns and looks at Hugo and goes, "You are welcome here, Hugo. Have you come to honor the agreement we made?" Again, Hugo, not doing great. You see him sort of clutching the kantele to his chest and backing away a little.
Push him forward.
Linnea's going to remember, Hugo, what's more important? One instrument or your family?
Roll one last manipulate test to see if you can get through to him, and I will say Frederick helped you because of the not even implicit threat of violence. Just right out there.
Yeah, I feel like we're all like cracking our knuckles at this point.
Because Astrid is helping as well.
I had one success.
Is that with the die I gave you for Astrid? Okay. 2 successes. That is exactly enough. Hugo, for lack of a better non-gendered term, mans up. And does in fact hand the kantele to Indrek. The troll baby, still clutching shards of mirror, coughs up some fish bones and hops on over to one of the nearest bonfires as Indrek very carefully hands Edward back to Hugo.
Astrid's gonna turn to Indrek and be like, "I'm sorry you lost Layla."
As are we all. Her killer fill our bellies. The circle is complete yet again.
Hopefully the church won't be a problem for you anymore.
And Astrid turns to Hugo and go, "And no one would ever want to come and harm Cali Village because someone selfishly went back on a bargain, now would they?"
Oh, good that you mention this. And Indrek like sort of calls over the little troll child and puts him in front of Komrik and goes, "Why did I tell you about making unfair deals with dumb humans?" Now take the treats and complete the bargain. Don't do it again. Also, I need my knife back.
Yes. And
So
Astrid
he hands
over.
over just like 3 of the candies.
The kid goes, thank you, and I'm sorry. I'm not allowed to bargain with humans until I'm of age.
Yeah, well, I learned something too, so.
Great, see you in 10 years.
Wait, what?
Indrek takes the nice knife back from Astrid. Like, he's very much going clean slate. Like, just finish all the deals, be done with all of this, cut all ties. And to while, like, he takes Astrid's knife back, Hugo is completely entranced with Edward, who actually looks a lot like him. Meeting his baby for the first time, basically. Sort of, Indrek takes Fredrik by the elbow for a little bit. Sort of walks you away from the campfire a small way. You have certain skills. There were some members of Father Cornelius's congregation who came here to finish what we started. He started. We dealt with most of them. One of them ran away. We'd very much like for that one to be dealt with. You travel in human society more freely.
You know what he looked like?
Oh, I do. And he grabs your hand and basically projects the face of the person you're looking for into your mind. And it's one of those cute little tea-drinking ladies that were lighting memorial candles in the church the first time you visited.
Consider it done.
Absolutely wonderful. And lets go of your elbow and invites all of you to join the summer solstice festivities. Hugo's not up for it, by the way. He's like taking his kid and going. So if you want to take the carriage back, maybe now. If you're willing to travel a different way, do it later.
2 carriages?
No, 1 carriage and a bunch of horses.
Did they tie their horses onto the back of it?
Whose horses?
Their horses.
I don't know where Linnea and Fredrik left their horses.
Return.
I assumed back at the estate, no one was informed that they
Nobody
needed to bring their
knows where
horses.
those horses went. So it looks like we're gonna double up on the way back. But I'm staying here.
I'm
staying
here
here.
to party.
Yeah,
All right.
I'm going to walk Hugo and the baby back to the carriage, and talk to Hugo. Sir, all right. Well, we also have your cousin Rollo is also at the sanitarium. And I'm pretty sure you could.
Bill.
What's that?
I'm well aware. I've been paying his bills. It seemed right. He got injured after I requested his presence.
And so you could probably make sure that he gets released to us as we take him back, correct?
Provided the doctor thinks him stable enough to travel. Last time I saw him, part of his brain was coming out of his head. I'm going to go and say that we'll be listening to the medical advice on this one.
As long as he's taken care of.
Dr. Norman says it's safe for him to travel. I will happily sign on.
Good deal. We'll see you later.
I hope not.
Me too.
And that's
And
where
then
we
I'll
can
go back.
Yeah, that's where we can end it. Look at you actually solving the mystery.
Yay, team!
And
Down
only
to the wire.
a few major NPCs died, but all the babies are good.
Yeah, babies are alive. That's what we. I'd like to say I have all my fingers and toes, but here we are.
Live babies, almost
Nine
guaranteed.
Nine fingers is more than enough.
Yes.
It's just the knuckle. It's fine.
All right. Let's quickly go around and do sign-offs because there's Monster Hearts after us. And then we're going to take at least 1 week off, but then we're going to have a little chat because in Vaesen, in between mysteries, there's some bookkeeping about leveling up and maintaining your castle and trying not to get committed by your family. So we're going to take some time. We're going to try and do like season 1.5. And then things will depend on the state of my private life. And then we'll do season 2, which is definitely not when Komrik gets married to a mermaid. Let's start with my top left again and go to Baker.
Hi, my name's Baker. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram where I post pictures of food I cook or eat and ramble about whatever comes to my brain. And as far as streaming, you can only find me here.
That sounds very definitive, but I do appreciate it. Wilde.
Yes, hello, I'm Wilde, at Wild Engineer on Twitch and Twitter. And aside from here, you can find me on Other Doc's channel on Saturday evenings for some Invisible Sun.
A very exciting system. Totally weird. Also, I'm going to need to hear your favorite moments of this episode real quick. Well, I'll go first, then we go back to Baker.
Knocking out the von Kaiserling.
Beautiful. Baker.
Playing with the baby troll.
Wonderful. Mikyl.
Hi, I'm Mikyl. You can find me at Mikyl Sandoval on Twitter and Instagram. I am also a Eva channel exclusive, where where I play some other characters and some other things. Horizon's Call to be one of them, and we're on hiatus right now between seasons. Much like this show. So yeah, you can catch me probably in a new place, changing soon. So that's a happy move. Also, yes, I will do character art for season 2 and 1.5. Yes. And I'm going to keep it to the Vaesen style because I really am inspired by the art in this book. If you haven't checked out this book, please do. All right, I'm done. My favorite moment was cursing my character by giving away my memento. Yeah, that's going to be fun.
Great. It also means you currently can't recover mental conditions. Eva.
Yes, hi, hello, I'm Eva. This is my channel where we run all sorts of various games, such as Vaesen, Monster Hearts. This Saturday we have part 2 of Mothership Venus Rising, run by our very own Anniek. And we've got a bunch of stuff coming up in October. Currently September is a bit of a question mark, but we'll see what happens. Why schedule in order? My favorite part of today was honestly the troll party, because I've been looking forward to that for like sessions and sessions. So I'm glad
Sorry we had to cut it short.
I'm glad we got there.
We can definitely epilogue how much fun you had. Maybe, roll for pregnancy or something. Hi, my name is Anniek. I run Vaesen with these lovely people, and I live to horrify them in various ways. Yeah, also scheduling, evil, it's totally not a thing, and I'm terrible at it. So follow me on Twitter, which is where I usually remember to announce what I'm doing. finale of Mothership Venus Rising next week. Only one player dead so far, so 4 to go. And other than that, I paint watercolors, but I'm terrible at character art, so I just do animals and stuff. Also available in commission form, also on Twitter. I think that covers it, for me at least. My favorite part, your faces every time I went, by the way, you have 20 minutes left. Just the increasing amount of panic. You take 12 sessions to fuck around and suddenly time matters. It's the dawning realization was
This
an
is
amazing
only
thing.
session 10 out of a
Only
6-part series.
How many sessions was this supposed to take?
So one mystery they say takes about 6 hours. We took
Nice.
30.
Nice.
All right. Well, love you all. Take care of yourselves.
Be a good human.